What a great scene following a dramatic comeback. The Vikings down 20-0 at halftime, come back and beat the Denver Broncos. The locker room, predictably, very excited. Welcome to Vikings Game Plan from the TCO studios. It's Paul Allen.
Emphasize of who you are and what you've done and tips that you might be given and things like that. And if you can make it through those 11 ball games, I think it gave us another chance to sit back and kind of reevaluate, get back to some fundamental things that, kind of slip and get away when you're game planning for somebody each week and next week and this, short week, and, you're concentrating so much on the other team, you don't concentrate on your team quite as much. And so I think it gave us an opportunity to do some of those things as well.
We're looking forward to another big challenging game this week. I do feel like a broken record when I stand here every Wednesday and talk about how we've got another big game against a really good opponent. Very important for us to find a way to get a win. We've got to have a great week of preparation. All of that is true again this week, and we're looking forward to the challenge that Monday night will present.
Things have been different, since Coach has stepped in, and we just been executing each game plan. I think he is a smart coach. Him and Coach Koo of putting this thing together. And we've been locking in and going to execute.
Thank you guys. Go Hawks. Yep. We kick things off with the Monday Nighter. 8-3 Minnesota travels to 9-2 Seattle. The Vikings are coming off the bye and a comeback win over Denver. They enter the week as the 6th seed in the NFC. They get a Seahawks squad that is the 5 seed in the NFC after keeping their road record a perfect 6-0 last week with a win in South Philadelphia. Running back Rashad Penny ran for a career best 129 yards and a touchdown in that win, and they did it without the services of star defensive end Jadeveon Clowney. What do the insiders say?
Dave mentioned Dalvin Cook. I was stunned. I looked. The guy's got over 1,000 yards already. He's only through 11 weeks. He's also got another 450 yards catching the football, having a great season. And you've got Kirk Cousins playing like a big game quarterback right now. They're thin at wide receiver, but if those top two are healthy with Thielen and Diggs, this is an offense that'll scare you. You turn it around with Seattle. 28th ranked pass defense. We've talked about this a little bit. Will Cousins take them on? Will they stay with the plan in Seattle and try and go with Dalvin Cook? That remains to be seen. For Seattle, Pat just mentioned it. You get Rashad Penny back. He goes off for $127. You got Chris Carson. That's one of the best ground games in the NFL.
Yeah, you look at Seattle. The perception early was that this was a one-man show. Wilson or nothing. Russell Wilson. Well, they're not. They're running the ball. You just mentioned they're playing better defense the last couple of weeks. But Minnesota, it's one of these teams where you know what they're going to do. They don't make it a secret. They're going to run the ball. It's going to be play-action pass, and they are going to play stingy defense. One of the best defenses stopping people when you get in the red zone against them. So, Seattle, I think, will have a good plan, but I just don't know if Seattle's good enough to score enough points on Minnesota to win the game.
Well, it's going to be interesting because Russell Wilson leads the NFL with 24 touchdown passes, and he's got to be licking his lips against that Vikings secondary. Hey, they've had 42 plays of 20-plus yards against that secondary. So, yeah, it'll be about who can minimize those big plays. But the quarterbacks will be the topic du jour. But I think it's going to be whoever can get the running game going. We talked about Rashad Penny. I don't know if it's going to be enough. I'm going to stick with the Vikings with you here.
Everybody is going with Minnesota win on the road in that one. Next up.
Followed by Maverick and Wagon Train. That's on the way on.
Last one, Vikings and Seahawks tonight. That's a good game. Who do you like?
I think I like the Seahawks. Even though the Seahawks have lost all their games they've lost this season, they've lost them at home. Isn't that weird? Weird turnabout for the Seahawks.
Out of time, and we will try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
Man, that 12th man out in Seattle better wake up. I'm Mike Wilbon, same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. And we send you to Susie Culver and the Monday Night Countdown crew in Seattle.
Seymour Sidewalk, rest in peace. Important to sports.
Hey guys, this crowd is ready to go. Welcome to Seattle, where the stage is set for a big-time Monday night matchup. CenturyLink Field plays host as two of the top teams in the NFC battle for playoff position. The Vikings on solid footing for a wild card. The Seahawks take over first place in the West with a win tonight. We'll get you set for the game and recap a critical Sunday of NFL action on Monday Night Countdown, presented by Courtyard. It's a showcase for quarterbacks tonight. Two of the best in the league. And few play better under the Monday night lights than Russell Wilson. Kirk Cousins has some work to do in that department. He'll get some help from his superstar wide receiver, Stephon Diggs, one of the most explosive playmakers in the NFL, and he's going to join us during his warm-up on the field. He's going to have to battle the Seahawks and the noise, the 12th man, a force to be reckoned with. Few home fields pack this punch. And the party is already underway just outside CenturyLink. Blitz, the mascot, joining the fun for what is a great tailgate scene. Everybody's out here, including the Seahawks Blue Thunder Drum Line. Let it roll, guys. No doubt they know how to tailgate here, and we love hanging with the 12s. Monday Night Countdown set up right here on the northwest corner of CenturyLink Field. And here with our Hall of Famers, Steve Young and Randy Moss, Louis Riddick, Adam Schefter. I'm Susie Colbert. So what we have to love is there's no rain. It's a little bit chilly. We can deal with that, considering last time we were here it was raining, and they played this exact same matchup, almost exactly, 1 year ago. So in this one, this year, guys, what stands out for you? What are you looking forward to?
Susie, this is all about the NFC playoff picture. If Seattle wins tonight, it moves into the number 2 spot as the number 2 seed. And San Francisco looks like it could be going on the road as a wild card if Seattle wins tonight. Now, again, there are 4 weeks to go after this week, but still, if Seattle wins tonight, it knows the 49ers coming here, and the Seahawks set themselves up for a very successful playoff run.
Yeah, for me, it's all about Russell Wilson. It's all about what he has done for the NFL overall at the quarterback position and how he has changed what people's perceptions are of ideal quarterbacks. This is a guy who's 5'10", 5. He's under 6 foot tall. And when he came out in the draft, many people knocked him down in the draft for one simple reason. He wasn't over 6 feet. He didn't meet the prototypical measurables. But what he's done now, as far as blazing a path for other quarterbacks who are sub 6 feet tall to come into the NFL and take this league by storm, is something that you cannot discount. This guy right now is the standard. He's the standard by which all sub 6 foot quarterbacks are judged. And at the end of the year, it's going to come down between him and Lamar Jackson, who together are totally revolutionizing how people look at quarterbacks.
I've been watching for Kirk Cousins. You know, perception is 9/10 of the law. That's an old saying for me, an old legal profession when it was possession, but it's perception in the NFL really matters. And to my mind, perception for Kirk Cousins is changing, and he's creating that change in perception. He can't win a big game on the road. He can't beat a winning team. He can't come from behind in the fourth quarter. Those are all things he's handled in the last month. And so I think there's been a break in the ice of what we think Kirk Cousins is. And I think he's doing it in a way that's freewheeling and it's not so heavy laden. It's not in his head so much. So I suspect tonight, I hope, that we're going to see a continuation of this. He's 0-7 on Monday night. Let's break that ice as well tonight for Kirk Cousins.
It's amazing to think about, too. You know, for me, seeing how the NFL played out this week, this is statement week for me. You've seen the Bills Thursday, you've seen the Ravens, and you were able to see the Texans last night. The Minnesota Vikings need to come into Seattle on the road and make a statement. You talked about the playoff implications. You talked about Kirk Cousins. The Minnesota Vikings is poised. They need to come here and make a statement in Seattle.
And Cousins is really candid about all of those things, all the good things and the things that he knows he needs to accomplish. You're going to hear from Cousins later in the show, but first, why don't we talk about some of those blockbuster matchups that we saw in the NFL on Sunday? It was billed as a countdown to the top plays of all time. Might you hear the thunder of East Point? And one-on-one with Kirk Cousins, why he's ready to change the narrative that he can't win the big game.
It really isn't a monkey on my back. We as a collective group, as the Minnesota Vikings, got to find a way to get it done.
Cousins knows the narrative, and he's going to have to fight that back tonight. Can he get his first win on a Monday night? Big night ahead, second straight year. These two top contenders are meeting on Monday Night Football.
Feel it in your heart, feel it in your soul. Let the music take control. We're going to party, fiesta, forever.
My, oh my, Russell
Wilson digs and more and gets it.
Stephon Diggs. Diggs will have to deal with that crowd noise tonight. Last year, he navigated it pretty well. A 48-yard catch here in Seattle. Like, no doubt he's been one of the best deep threats in the NFL the last 2 seasons. Diggs is playing his best football of the season entering tonight's game. He had the most receiving yards in the NFL from week 6 through 11, followed by a well-deserved bye week. Our Hall of Famers joined Diggs on the field.
Thanks, Susie. Me and the Steve Young here on the field pregame with Stephon Diggs. Stephon, Monday Night Football here in Seattle, baby. How you feel?
I'm good. I'm in a good spot. Had a good fight. It's been all day. I'm a little impatient now, but I'm good.
Stephon, you know, I give you credit. I don't know, but with your speech that rocked the locker room, rocked the offense, and I feel like personally watching Kirk Cousins play since then, it's a freer, looser. Like something broke.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I mean, it's been a work in progress. I feel like you can't say we all went in the huddle and went kumbaya, but we did go in there as men, and you know everybody had an objective and a goal that we want to win. At the end of the day, we're gonna do whatever we gotta do, as long as we win.
You know, speaking of Kirk Cousins, your quarterback, he's had a lot of criticism, Stephon, just for not being able to play in big games. As wide receivers, I know that affected you. And what have you taken upon yourself to make sure you can go out here and be good for Kirk?
That's my quarterback, and you know I'm a reflection of him at the end of the day.
Right.
I want him to have success. I want him to perform at a high level, and if they say that about my quarterback, that means I got to do more. So it's my job to come out here, you know, and make the plays when they come my way.
Okay.
I thought that the Cowboy win, the comeback against the Broncos, I saw them as super important to your development as a team.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about those 2 big games?
I agree. You know, last week we were down bad, and you know, Kirk threw us back into the game. You know, he had a hell of a game, and the Cowboy win, he played a great game. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit, and at this point, you know, at this stage in our season and where we want to go, he's playing well, and he's on that uphill slate right now.
Go ahead.
You know, everybody talked early in the season, and I'm a true believer of the double-headed monster here between you and Thielen. Thielen's been wounded, you know, and those some reps out there missing. You know, what have you done to take your level or your game up another level, knowing that there's some yards and some catches missed in Thielen?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's kind of like been a growing process because I haven't went without him. You know, since I've been in the league, he's been with me. So it's been a growing process as far as like learning. But I know me as a player, I'm gonna step up when I need to step up. I'm gonna do my job, and you know, I'm just trying to take advantage of all opportunities, really. And it's fun out there. At the end of the day, I got some young guys that's banging with me, that's fighting with me out there. So I try to keep it fun and lead by example.
Steph, you know, you don't need to know about the big implications about tonight's game. It seems different.
What's the word?
Not only just Monday night, but just playoff implications.
Yeah.
Does it seem different in the locker room?
Not at all. I mean, we do it 1 week at a time, 1 game at a time. We understand the magnitude of the game and where we want to go and what this will do for us. So at this point, we're just taking it, you know, 1 play at a time. I'm anticipating.
Is there a ceiling? Is there a ceiling for this team?
Not at all. I wouldn't say that because, you know, if you put a ceiling on it, you know, we're working up to get to this point. Nah, it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's another game. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to work through it.
Well, lastly, you got the DB on your back. You got the DB on your back. He can right throw your feet. There you go. I see you. I see you. With the little subtle push off. Hey, Stephon Diggs, man, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight, Monday night. Show out, boy. Back to you, Susie Comer.
All right, Randy, the Vikings and this offense, they have truly been clicking a great test here tonight at CenturyLink with all this noise. So now let's flip over to the other side of the ball as we say hi to Booker McFarland.
Courtyard.
You know, I didn't get in the Basketball Hall of Fame just by talking. Me and the Rain Man, we walk the talk in Seattle. Ain't that right, Sean?
That's right, Gary.
Tonight, Vikings fans, it's gonna get loud up in here. How you gonna win? We got Russell Wilson. See, our offense only knows one speed. Supersonic. Nice jersey, Sean.
Thanks, Gary.
And this defense,
That's straight trash, homie.
Okay. We know Dalvin can get things cooking. And you got Captain Kirk. Mini, so what? We in Seattle now. And the Seahawks gonna roll on Monday Night Football. Ain't that right, Sean?
That's right, Gary.
That's one way to say welcome to the Pacific Northwest. Tonight, CenturyLink Field hosts the Vikings and the Seahawks in a matchup critical for playoff positioning. First place in the NFC West on the line for Seattle. Let's check out some key storylines for tonight. Kirk Cousins will try to win his first game on Monday night. He's going to have to battle the 12s to get it done. Cousins playing some of his best football right now, with the most touchdown passes in the NFL since Week 5. Russell Wilson trying to keep pace with Lamar Jackson in that MVP talk. He enters Week 13 with 24 touchdown passes, and you know how he shined under lights in prime time. Pete Carroll has instilled that philosophy that no one game is bigger than another. Here's Coach with Lisa Salters just a short time ago.
Thank you very much, Susie. Pete, you've said that you treat all games.
So let's spin now to the Vikings. It's clear that they love to run the ball, and this offense revolves around Dalvin Cook. Came into Week 13 as the NFL's third leading rusher. The talented running back sat down with Lisa Salters last night.
You're finally healthy. What does it mean to you to finally be healthy and to show what you can do?
It means a lot. I've been through a lot these past 3 years, ups and downs. It's been new to me, these injuries with me being out from football, and that's what I couldn't accept at first. I was really hurt and I couldn't play football. You gotta accept it. Once you're hurt, and I think it's made me the player I am today. Just battling through so much stuff.
Handoff, Dalvin Cook, stutter step right, shakes the tackle to the end zone, touchdown!
Hey, now I'm in, now I'm not.
The Vikings took a chance on you coming to college. What did that mean to you?
Everything. That's why I give them all I got. I just be me. I don't shy away from being doubted. I'm doubting at every moment, and I think you be around me long enough. God said, I'm just blue down. I just love to play football.
The fact that they believed in you so much, how has that motivated you to just keep fighting, get to this point where you're balling out?
It's a mindset of just don't let them down, and just prove them, that was the right pick, that was the right choice. I was the guy for them, at the 41st pick, and I just work my tail off every day. I fly around and practice. I leave it all on the game field, and I think that's the reward for the Vikings.
The Vikings are 8-3, but in a crowded NFC. Minnesota currently in the second wildcard spot. Even if the Vikings win tonight, they'd still be a wild card since the Packers own the tiebreaker in the NFC North. Those teams play in Minneapolis on Monday Night Football in Week 16, a game that could decide the division. That's going to be fun, and we get to be there. So the Vikings are on a roll. They've won 6 of 7, including that huge comeback win. Week 11, they were down 20 points against the Broncos. But Lewis, do you believe they're truly in the conversation as one of the elite teams in the NFC?
I absolutely do. Look, I'll hit defense first. Look, they have weapons at all three levels of this defense. Obviously, they need to show up their best defense more, but they got elite pass rushers, elite cover guys on the inside, and they have secondary players that are great athletes that need to play with better communication and make more plays on the ball. But here's the key. Kirk Cousins is on a tear right now. Kirk Cousins is on a mission. He's on a proven mission, and I'm telling you this, it's not just play action pass. He obviously benefits when the run game is going, and the play action passing game obviously benefits from that. And over the past 7 weeks, nobody is on fire more than Kirk Cousins. He has 10 touchdowns off the play action. He's completing, a ridiculous percentage as far as his passes are concerned, and his yards per attempt are right up there at the very top. And his rapport right now with Stephon Diggs is second to none. If he can sustain this level, on this stage, on the road, in this environment, there's no question that they're there. There's no reason for them to not be mentioned with the big boys in the NFC.
Kirk Cousins, follow me here. Beginning of his career in Washington, you like that? Remember, he's free and wild. It's like he didn't know any better, and you got all of him. And it was great. Then he started to mature, and then started to bog down in losses, in missed expectations. People started to criticize him, and it's not. And I think that whatever Stephon Diggs did when he yelled in the locker room, whatever, it seemed to break him. It was like, let's stop worrying. He's in his head too much. And I think Kirk just freed up. And you've seen, if my theory is right, you're going to see a freer, more open. And he's done things he hasn't done before. He's won a big game. The Cowboys. He brought a team back in the fourth quarter. He hasn't done that. He hasn't won on Monday night. I'm sure that's in his mind tonight. Because I just feel like we're seeing a mature Free now through all the scars and the connective tissue you build through some tough times. And you're seeing a much freer, better football player that I think's got to excite the Vikings.
Everything that y'all just talked about Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, this is an ultimate test for Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position, going against a Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. But when I look at Kirk Cousins going into this game and looking against the Seahawks, how they were able to lose 2 games at home against a very good defense. The Minnesota Vikings have that defense. Kirk Cousins has raised his level of play. And Lou, you just talked about the chemistry between him and Stephon Diggs is on another level. I believe in Kirk Cousins tonight, but he has to definitely play behind that defense because that'll be key.
You can make the argument that he has been over the last year or two the most maligned and criticized player in the National Football League. In the last few weeks, he's answered those critics, and he's got a chance to continue to do that with this postseason run. And if Minnesota goes in any type of extended run, nobody can ever say anything about him again.
No. Mike Zimmer is really candid when you ask him how he feels about this team, that the pass defense has to be better for them to go all the way, but he loves that the offense is actually confident now. It's not all about the defense. Right, so that's the NFC. How about the AFC? And the AFC playoff picture, now the #1 seed. Both teams are 10-2, but the Ravens beat the Patriots in Week 9 and have the tiebreaker. In fact, the Ravens have beaten the Seahawks, the Pats, the Texans, the Niners, and all. They've beaten 6 teams that currently have winning records, twice as many as any other team.
Good job.
Well, my friend, the time has come to raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the work to be done and let the music play on.
Whatever it takes, let's get it. Let's go. Let's get it. When I shoot, I score. When you shoot, I score.
Wilson escapes, and he makes magic again. Cousins passes to Diggs.
You like that? Monday night, you gotta feel it.
Are you ready for a showdown between 2 of the top teams in the NFC? First place in the NFC West on the line for Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. What magic does Wilson have in store for us tonight? You have a front row seat as we get you set to kick off with our field pass. So let's start on the opposite side there, Steve. Focusing on Kirk Cousins, candid about the things he hasn't accomplished, even in the midst of a great run. What's the key as a quarterback to getting that monkey off your back?
Well, I think it's just owning it. And I think he does a great job of owning it. It's like a sense that I know what I haven't done. I know the hurdles that are out there. I know that people have been disappointed in some of the things that I've done. But I also recognize what I have done. And that I have first in the league in pass TDs and second in completion percentage and total QBR in third. So it's like, I think owning all that and not having to feel like you're always running from something, but running to being a better and better player. I think that's what he's on his way to being.
Randy, the Vikings have been without Adam Thielen for most of their last 4 games. How has Stephon Diggs carried the load?
Well, Susie, I don't even know what he said in that locker room that Steve alluded to earlier, but he has been carrying this team. You're just talking about the absence of Adam Thielen. This man is averaging 19 yards per catch. That's 6th in the National Football League. But since week 7, only one touchdown, Susie. I need to see Diggs in that box tonight multiple times.
Adam, a healthy Dalvin Cook has emerged as one of the best backs in the league. This offense revolves around him. How do you see him matching up to the heart of the Seahawks defense?
Well, that's the whole thing, Susie. The Seahawks linebackers are the strength of their team. Dalvin Cook tonight has to go to Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright. And those types of players, these are going to be hard yards for him to earn. The Seahawks always take away the running game. They're going to try to take away Dalvin Cook tonight before they do anything else.
And more on that Seahawks defense, Lewis. Jadeveon Clowney finally had his breakout game for the Hawks.
A complete dud. He'll make something out of it. Russell Wilson is the MVP tonight.
Let's talk about this Vikings defense, Lewis. Harrison Smith seems healthy after the bye, but the Achilles heel of this Vikings defense has been the pass D, and it's a Mike Zimmer D, but they're giving up big plays. What are you going to be watching for tonight?
I'm going to be watching for really clean communication and clean defensive back play, and by that I mean this. Defensive backs looking at what they're supposed to, not getting fooled, or rather not getting enamored by Russell Wilson, and then executing their fundamentals down the football, making plays on the ball. And Harrison is a critical part of that.
What a big night for Kirk Cousins. Still coming. We've got Come On Man and Cousins so candid about all he still wants to accomplish. One of those goals, a win on Monday night.
Time to be great, man. Time to be great. Locked in. Let's communicate championship focus. Championship detail. Let's go do the work. Let's go do the work. Let's go get a win. Execute. Let's go. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win. Time to be great, baby. Time to be great. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Have a day. Couldn't be more prepared, man. Let's go to work. Good looking receivers today. Good looking receivers. Some good looking receivers, baby. We got Tyler Lockett in the house tonight, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, man. Ball's going to be spinning tonight, boys. Ball's going to be spinning tonight. No better day than game day. Gotta love it. Time to go show out. Go on the show. Time to be great.
Russell Wilson wearing the Monday Night Mike, and Wilson's opposite number tonight. Kirk Cousins fighting for all those things Russ knows so well. Success in prime time, the playoffs, and even a Super Bowl. But first things first, a win in the Pacific Northwest. 1,200 years after the Vikings traveled across Europe, conquering new lands, Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins is conquering his old narratives. It started in Dallas in Week 10, when Cousins entered with a road record of 1-7 in prime time and only 4 road wins against winning teams. But the Norseman led the Vikings to a win, conquering both storylines. A week later, Cousins won again, this time after trailing in the fourth quarter for the first time as the Vikings quarterback, another narrative conquered. Tonight, he'll attempt to vanquish another shortcoming, win on Monday night for the first time in his career. Cousins addressed it all with Lisa Salters last night.
You have to be able to throw the ball. You have to be able to make plays.
Kirk Cousins, he just doesn't have enough.
Kirk Cousins is a failure. He's not worth what he's being paid. We're just as frustrated as every fan in this state of Minnesota.
When there's dissension, things can fall apart quickly.
You want to be in Minnesota?
Yeah, I want to be in Minnesota.
That did not happen with you guys, just the opposite.
Well, I think you just go back to work. I don't think there's any secret answer. You just say, hey, and I guess that week it was week 5. We had the Giants on the road. It's, hey, we got to go and beat the Giants. And really just, as cliche as it sounds, take it one day at a time, one practice at a time.
Great moments are born from great opportunities, all right? Let's go get a win. I like the stubborn. I like what we're about.
At the end of the day, we started 2-2. It wasn't 0-4, but it wasn't 4-0. And now we're sitting at 8-3. 8-3 isn't the end of the story. We got 5 games to go. These final 5 games, I think, are going to tell the story more than anything. People forget how you start, but they remember how you finish.
I score!
He's playing lights out. He's doing a great job, and you guys need to give him more credit. You guys are hard on him when he isn't playing well. He's doing everything he can.
Cousins passes to Diggs. Touchdown! Minnesota Vikings have beaten the Denver Broncos from a 20-0 deficit.
Russell Wilson's in the MVP discussion. Your numbers are similar to his. Why aren't we hearing your name?
He's such a fun player to watch. He's great for our sport, great for our league, and he sets a high bar for the rest of us to keep up with.
You're having a great year too, Kirk. Do you care?
If we can win in Seattle on Monday night, that's what I care about, and that's what'll make me happy.
We're born to be champions.
Kirk Cousins recognizes that the Seahawks play with a ton of energy. He knows they're going to have to match that tonight. He said, we're going to have to bring the juice. We're going to pick this game in just a moment. But first we've got Come On Man, and Steve, you're up first.
All right, you got to figure the Raiders after last night. They might be on Come On Man. Here they are.
Saturday, but they're all healthy. They're not on the injury report. They're all playing tonight.
All right, picks. Lewis, who do you have tonight?
I'm going with the Vikings. Come on, Kirk Cousins. Come on, Kirk Cousins. You're hot, baby. You're hot. 35-31. High-scoring game.
Whoa.
Come on, Kirk. Come on. Do I have to pick? I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Lou just talked about Kirk Cousins. Come on, Kirk. We just did a segment with Stephon Diggs, the absence of Thielen. Diggs is going to be big tonight. I think the secondary for the Vikings can step up too. Come on, Xavier Rhodes.
Clearly the first guy to be objective about this whole thing. When I see breaking a 26-26 tie and a late second field goal, last second field goal by the Seattle Seahawks, I think they do it at home.
Wow.
Sorry, boys. I got to be objective about the whole thing.
So do we have a split decision here? I'm just going to quote Russell Wilson because he says that this team is special. They seem to have the special sauce. And that also, when the game is on the line, they have this belief that they're going to win and that the other team can feel that too. I'm going Seahawks, but hey, this is a huge game between two of the best teams in the NFC. What more could you ask? And in this atmosphere here, and you've got to see this. How big is this game? Well, the 12s, they are out in force for Monday Night Football.
It's a Viking purple on there too. Let's go, Vikings!
And they're all coming inside.
Russell Wilson making his case
Come on,
for
Kirk.
MVP. Enjoy Monday Night Football.
And that's great stuff, Sean. Hey, you think you've seen it all, then you see a fired-up Sean Kemp wearing a Steve Largent jersey. From the over-the-top fan passion of Seattle, this is the Progressive Monday Night Kickoff. Russell Wilson has the best winning percentage in primetime in NFL history. This one could help line up another championship run. The Vikings' Kirk Cousins, he's been red hot over the last 2 months, but he knows what he has to overcome. Prove it when it counts most. Hey, the NFC playoff picture is fascinating. The 49ers lost that thriller in Baltimore, so Seattle, already with that win at the Niners, they could jump to the division lead. The Vikings trying to keep pace with the Packers. They'll have that showdown on the final Monday nighter at the end of the year. This is among the biggest swing games we're going to see down the stretch of the season. Hi, everybody. Joe Tessitore alongside Booger McFarland. And it is that time of the year for Seattle and Russell Wilson to do their thing. Since Russell entered the league, he has 25 regular season wins in December and January. That's the same as Tom Brady over that span.
And he's doing it a certain style. They like to run the football. They make no qualms about it. They want to be physical at the line of scrimmage and play really good defense. But in those crucial moments, third down, 2-minute, red zone, Russell Wilson wants to put the ball in his hands because he knows he's their primary playmaker, and he looks to do it again tonight.
Good injury update for Seattle. Jadeveon Clowney is back. Target is Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, and there have been few defenders who have been able to disrupt him lately. Over his last 7 games, he has 18 touchdowns and only 1 interception.
And it's perception reality. The reality of it is he's having a very good season. The perception is that Kirk Cousins has come up smallest in the biggest moments. Well, tonight he's surrounded by a plethora of weapons, but at some point during this game, he's going to have an opportunity to make a big play and change the perception of him around the National Football League.
Look, I love this matchup. We have 2 high-priced star quarterbacks playing every bit like it. And Russell Wilson is letting us listen in.
Let's go, man, let's go. We're here for a reason. We're here for a reason. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go dominate. Let's go dominate. Let's go. Let's go, man, let's go. Hey, whatever it takes, man. Whatever it takes. One play at a time. We're doing this thing together. Let's go. Championship football. Let's do it one play at a time. Let's go dominate. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3, play.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation
of the National Football League.
Are you ready for some football?
50 years ago, the tradition took flight like a freight train rocking into the night. You've seen all the players, you know all the names. The world's most famous prime-time game. The NFL's best play under these lights. Legends are made on Monday night. The Vikings are ready. Seattle, get ready. I'm waiting on you. The constant roar heard through the Emerald City. CenturyLink Field. And Dave Matthews with the honor tonight. The spark that always lights the fuse for this crowd. The 12th man flag. A Seahawks diehard fan, the music sensation, and listen to this place. In a critical NFC playoff positioning game, the Vikings and the Seahawks in Seattle has won 5 straight over Minnesota, including last year's Monday night pressure-packed defensive battle, same time of the year. The Vikings won the toss, they defer, the Seahawks will receive.
Genesis, the official luxury vehicle of the NFL, proudly presents the Genesis Halftime.
Welcome to the Genesis halftime. Vikings knew they would have to match the Seahawks' energy early and have done just that. Here with Steve Young, Lewis Riddick, Adam Schefter, I'm Susan Culver. Lewis, what jumps out?
The physicality of this game right out of the gate. You can see that Seattle came with the idea with their defensive line really pressuring Kirk Cousins. I mean, from the very first snap, we're standing down on the field, and you could see they were going to try and send him a message and say, hey, look, you weren't going to get any shots down the field. You're not going to run that 7-step play action against us because we're going to be all over you. And as you see, it's all been short games so far.
Hey, look, the first half for me, Russell Wilson, the most present quarterback in the pocket, always aware, always have a sense of place, would bat it forward and actually give 7 points up. If this game is tight and they end up losing by a short or little amount, he'll think that back of that play in the first half.
Well, battle of two great teams. Can't wait for the second half. Adam, you have
And a place filled with rowdies, CenturyLink Field. But right now, their team is trailing 17-10 to the...
And now in first in the NFC West, the Seattle Seahawks with an up-to-the-moment look at the playoff picture. Tess was talking about it on the broadcast, and it's true. It's awfully top-heavy. You've got 3 10-2 teams. You've got the Packers currently at 9-3. Meanwhile, the NFC East is an absolute disaster. The Cowboys are leading it. The Vikings, despite the loss, do have the edge right now for the second wild card. And the other teams that remain in the hunt, the Rams seem to get right against Arizona this Sunday. But that's where things currently stand, the playoff picture in the NFC. Speaking of Rams, Ram Trump.